Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
Oh yeah, it's a Monday night, and so that means it's not trash night like it usually is. But it's one of a kind. It's with a certain someone.
Mr. Monday Night, Rob
Mr.
and Dan. Come on, everybody wasn't with me? Well, they were the other night.
They sure were, Rob. Holy cats. Man, what a pleasant surprise that was. That was awesome to see you, Rob.
I gave them a little more warm-up that time.
Yes.
If you missed it, you didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Still on you.
Yes, still on me. That's it, everybody. But welcome. We're live. Happy to be here. Lots to talk about, Rob, both in and out of the wrestling ring in a lot of ways. And we got some special guests here tonight, though, too.
Boom, let's bring them on. A new guest, a return guest, but actually last year's Christmas guest, as you pointed out.
Yes.
And he's bringing someone special on, a brand new guest. Introduce him.
Yes, sir. We have not just Rob Van Dam, but we also have a returning guest in Violent J. Boom. Violent J, welcome to the show. And
yeah. I love this show. I'm honored to be back. You know, I'm grateful you guys are having me on here. And it truly is a nice Christmas delight. You know what I'm saying?
Ho, ho, ho.
It's a delight to have you too, my brother. And we also have a new guest here, one that I just recently interviewed, Mr. Vince Russo. Vince, welcome to the show, brother.
Gentlemen, what is going on? And I got to tell you, what's blowing me away is I have not seen Rob in a very long time. And brother, you have not aged one iota, bro. What are you taking a magical pill or magical smoke? What's going on?
It's part of the Illuminati. I'm telling you, he's signed his soul. I don't know. It's not fair, though. I know that.
I appreciate it. I got a wife that keeps me young.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And by the way, she's on the show a lot, and the fans want to know the latest on her. She's ready to pop. The date they gave us originally to have our twins. We have twins coming, Vince.
Yeah, I know that. Yes. Yeah.
February 6th, and they immediately followed up by saying, well, twins come early, don't count on that. So we've been guessing like all over the place, you know, December, January, what. Katie's in the hospital right now, and they're monitoring her until the babies are ready to come out. If they're not ready by Christmas, her understanding is that they're going to be bringing the babies out, and they'll be Christmas babies.
Oh, that is awesome, man. Congrats. That's awesome, bro.
Man, why is it that Rob has to be superhuman in all ways? You know what I mean? He's got the super beautiful wife. You know, he's got himself. Neither one of them age at all. When he goes to have a baby, he's got to have magnificent twins. You know what I mean? Everything he does, he's got to do it full throttle, mashed to the gas, all the way to the pedal to the floor, and it's very impressive. I'll tell you that, man.
Oh, we're very excited, and the cool thing about it being right on Christmas is that Katie and I are both born in the month of December, both a week apart from Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a week before her, a week after. So it looks like our babies might come out. Which, by the way, I don't know if you. I think both. Do you have kids, Vince?
Oh yeah, I got 3 grown kids. Yeah, they're all gone, but yeah, 3.
And you do too, right, Joe?
You can keep it honest, Vince. You got 300 kids. We read the sheets, bro.
That's what Joe to say.
Read the group sheets.
Wait, so Rob, you've got a birthday any day now? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying 3 days. I'll be 45.
Oh, I was gonna say 35, bro. You blew it, man. You blew it, Rob. Come on.
No, I'm gonna be ordering. I'll be qualified to order off the back of the menu now.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Man, yeah,
So,
man.
yeah, I'm still, I guess I imagined getting this close to being a dad that my mindset would change in a way that it hasn't yet. I thought that I would be more prepared. I still cannot imagine, that moment holding the baby. And I guess their eyes are closed, so you're not looking in their eyes. I don't know. But just that whole thing, like until I actually experience it, I don't think that I'm going to be ready for it. And I don't know if that's normal, but so far I don't feel any more prepared than I was, 3 months ago. I'm still I can't imagine. I'm planning on bawling my eyes out though.
Yeah, it's something like that, bro. I think you hit the nail on the head, Rob. Like you just can't imagine it and picture it till it happens. It's almost surreal, man. It's almost not real until, like you said, man, until you're there holding them, and then reality kicks in and you're on a whole new adventure, man.
Yeah, it's totally. There's not an ounce of regret. It's people that say it's scary. People say this and that, but once it happens, it's the most incredible feeling. It's like an experience you've never felt. You've felt all the experiences by now, but you have never felt this one. It's a feeling you have never ever felt, and it's a great feeling, man. And I feel sorry for people out there in the world that don't feel that feeling when they have kids, man, because that would be awful. But yeah, it's a wonderful, amazing thing, and it's okay to not have everything be about you anymore. It's about them now, and you couldn't be happier like that. You couldn't be happier making sure they come first, making sure you have money in their savings first, making sure you have everything they need first before you put anything away for yourself. That is what it's like, and it feels awesome. That's what I believe. Yeah.
So Joe, you don't think there's any chance I'll be like Dexter and just like be emotionally detached and be like, I should be doing this
well, stranger things have happened. But no, not at all, man. Not at all. I think you're gonna take I think you're gonna look at this the same way you look at everything in life. You're gonna jump into it, balls to the wall. You know what I mean? You're gonna jump into this thing and you're gonna just go all out. You're gonna be super dead. You're gonna be super dead in ways none of us can predict. It's not just gonna be something going on in your life like, oh, and then there's a dad thing too. Nah, man. I think you're gonna jump on board with this and go all out, man. Both you and Katie are gonna wrap yourselves up in this, man. And it is a wonderful thing, man, because it's not scary at all. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. I love being the doggy daddy. I know that. Had a lot of practice with that.
Yeah, right. That's the batting practice that gets you ready for it, and then it's the main event going on. Vince, I think this is. Well, go ahead. Well, I was going to ask Vince, like something that you're known for is like putting your family first ahead of the wrestling aspect of things, in the famous story between you and Vince McMahon and leaving that. And Rob, obviously you're in a different time of your life in your wrestling career when it comes to constantly being on the road and stuff like that. But what did you kind of learn about balancing the family life with the wrestling life, Vince, when you were like kind of in the thick of the action?
Yeah, I always I really thank Vince for this, because Vince really gave me a wake-up call, because there was a time, man, during the Attitude Era, and I am almost ashamed to say this, but I just got so caught up in the time. And there was really a time where I probably put work before my family. And that's why, like, I am so thankful, because, like I said, that moment when Vince McMahon said, why don't you just hire a nanny to take care of your kids? That was such a wake-up call to me. And I mean, thank God, like at that time, man, I was only about 34 or 35, and it was such a wake-up call to me. And I vowed from that moment on to never, ever, ever put work or anything else in front of my family again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're not against the hot nanny, by the way. Anyone? Any applicants are listening.
That's right. Right. Rob, what were you gonna say though?
No, you mentioned a main event, and I was just speaking of main event.
Oh, what a good segue that would have been. But
Well,
yes,
you fucked it up.
I fucked it up. Yeah, Rob, talk about that experience. Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match, and I'll get Vince and Violent J's thoughts on it too. But let's hear how your experience was, Rob. It was awesome.
Man, it was really cool. We got treated well. I guess I should say I did. I don't know about everyone's experience, but just sitting in the front row. I don't even think I did any interviews when I was there. But obviously we were there as former world champions, I was told, but I'm not sure if everyone qualified. But so I don't know. Was Eve Torres a former world champion? Maybe
she might have been. I don't
know. And then McCool and I don't know who else. Oh, Sammy. Who knows? Anyway, it was cool. It's cool seeing those guys too. Seeing Kurt, seeing Mark. Trish is awesome. And it's always cool to see her. But also, it was an experience watching the wrestling, watching the story that they told, and being part of history in such a way. I don't know that anybody else has had a retirement promoted in quite this way. And it really made it like a part of history. It really made it apparent that we're all there to see this final moment. And so, it was not only cool being there, but also, like it was the end of an era. So, people that, let themselves mark out a little bit and get emotionally involved. I get it. It reminds me a lot of like when Undertaker got beat, the boys were like, "Oh my God." And I was like, what a mark. I can't believe. I mean, that's just the way that I was brought up. You know what I mean? So like for me, I didn't grow up watching Taker, and I was on TMZ earlier actually, and we said the exact same thing. Also similar to when Kofi won, how people were reacting in the back like Marks, but it made you think about it, and it was for a reason, and it was like he's a black world champion, and from that perspective, it really meant a lot. And then with this, I think also really meant a lot because Cena is, he is an era. When I think about it, I mean, I started in WWE in 2001. I kind of feel like he's always been the top guy there the whole time, even when there was The Rock and Steve Austin, Undertaker, a lot of top guys, but it was still him that was on top wrestling them, still him that was working full time. I mean, I could barely handle the schedule that I was on, and I know on my days off, that boy was working, going to promote something, going to Make-A-Wish, whatever. So a lot of people would say, a lot of people just say, automatically like, wow, that'd be nice. I'd like to be in his position. Not everyone could do it. That was a lot of hard work. I noticed that right away. And just to see all of that, at that tap, like, boom, it's over. It's over. That moment's never like a real fun one to cross.
Yeah. Man, what'd you think of that result, Rob?
I expected it, so I wasn't really surprised. And I thought that, the way they went into it was, I like the way that they told a story, over gimmicks and goblins and, and ghouls. Yeah. So, I mean, I was all right with it. I mean, I wasn't any happier than anybody else, but it was like I expected that's what was going to happen, so I wasn't surprised. I do get the backlash, but at the same time, I think that I respected Gunther's work a little more. Like I don't watch him a lot, but my opinion of him before was from heat that he's getting from. It seemed like being proud to be like the stiffest guy there is, and when it comes to that, that's just issuing a challenge. That the way I see it, if somebody thinks it's cool to make my chest bleed with chops, I'm not going to complain, but don't complain, when I forearm you in your face back and match it, because there's no exceptions for chops, And anyway, just watching the whole match, the story they told, he seemed smooth. Going through him talking about, he seemed like his timing, he seemed relaxed. He seemed like well-paced. And what can you say? I don't think he was really particularly happy with the finish either. He probably realized that what was happening was not going to make a lot of people happy. But traditionally, is it the right thing to do? Yeah.
Right. Well, Vince, I caught a little bit of your Instagram, and but I do want to get your thoughts on that Cena result. And we talked last time about the creative aspect of what WWE's been doing, and you have some thoughts on it for sure. I know. So
yeah, I do. I mean, listen, I look at everything from a writing perspective because that's what I am. Rob's a worker. Jay works. I don't look at it from a wrestling perspective.
Mhm.
I look at it from a writer's perspective. And when I just look at this entire journey and now it's come to an end, and I look at what they did for Cena's retirement, like I have to ask the question, what did they do for John Cena? I mean, he got absolutely destroyed by Brock Lesnar. Then they do the heel turn, which they completely butcher. Then at the end, they don't just beat him once, they beat him twice. And I'm just looking at the whole run, and I'm like, this is a dude, man. Like Rob said, I mean, Cena's the one guy I never worked with that I wished I could have worked with. But obviously, man, I have watched him from afar, and I've always wished I could have worked with him with everything he represented. I mean, you talk about a pro's pro. So I know if I'm writing this story and I got a whole year to write it, I'm just going to really let John Cena go out with a great story. I'm going to put detail and pay attention to everything that happens and everything that he does. And, like I said, man, I'm just looking back, and what was really the shining moment? Even when he won the title from Cody, it was Travis Scott. So it's like when you look back, it's like, did they give Cena really a moment to shine? And that's the part I'm a little disappointed in.
Yeah, it is an interesting thing. I think about it in a lot of different ways from a star standpoint. Who's going to be the next big baby face moving up? And I think that's something that they got to be concerned with in certain ways. Who's going to be taking that spot?
It's Cody.
Well, since he's I look at him as the present though. Like, who's like the next young guy coming up is kind of what I'm, kind of what I mean. Because Cody is right there and now. But Jay, from like a promotion and a promoter's aspect, and like knowing how Cena and this whole tour has been kind of doing, what do you kind of think of that result overall?
It sucked. It sucked. That was awful, man. It was like a fucking nightmare. It was a nightmare, man. All those, oh my God, all those fans, all that never give up, never get up. And like Vince pointed out to me when I called them the next morning, never give up. All those Make-A-Wish Foundation kids in there, you know what I mean? All that Make-A-Wish stuff and everything. And then he just goes in there and he taps out. Listen, I'm 52 and I'm being honest. I have never seen anybody tap out of a sleeper hold. You can just fall asleep and look more like a man. But they had him tap out of a sleeper hold. It just stunned me to hell. And the look on his face, it looked like he didn't want to do it. Who knows what's going on there? But I thought that was the worst ending they could have done. And I get it, you guys. I get wrestling truest. I get the traditions of wrestling. And, you go out and you put the next guy over and you hand it all over to the next guy, But, man, they did not have to have him tap out of a sleeper. You know what I'm saying? They did not have to upset 23,000 people in that building, man. It was awful. They're chanting, "You fucked up," and bullshit. How is that the response you're happy with? Even if it takes them months to understand later, it doesn't matter. They bought those tickets. They came all the way there, and they got pissed off. That's not a good reaction. You know what I mean? I thought it was awful, man. And I was so mad. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. They always jerk you over there, man. I don't understand why, They always do that. When everybody wants something, they go the other route, tough shit. You know what I mean? And I get it to a certain degree. But, man, that broke my heart. It broke everybody's heart in the building. you could see the pain in everybody on the looks of their faces, man. They just did not like that. He could have been bleeding from the forehead and went out from a sleeper. He just fell asleep and could not fight no more. You know what I mean? That would have been so much better than him smiling and tapping out like that.
You know,
It was awful, man.
When you think about like what could have been, and listen, you know, Rob knows, you know, Rob worked there, you know, Jay worked there, you know, I worked there. You guys know it's all about moments. It's all about moments. So think about this kid. Man, when you talk about John Cena, I think 8 out of every 10 fans, you would go to Make-A-Wish. You immediately, we know what he's done for these kids. Man, can you just imagine if they had 200 Make-A-Wish kids ringside?
Wow.
And they're watching their hero, John Cena. And, bro, even if you want to put Gunther over, even if you want to, John Cena gives his all, like Jay says, never gives up, right? But, you know, Gunther's younger, Gunther's stronger. Gunther winds up beating him. Okay, bro, then at the end of the match, all you have to do is, man, Gunther helps him up. Gunther lifts his arm because, come on, bro, let's be real. I understand Gunther's a heel, but in that moment, any real person is going to shake Cena's hand. So Gunther could have helped him up, shook his hand, did the old arm raise. Bro, invite those kids in the ring and spend that last minute. How do you pass up a moment like that, man? Like I said, that's where, you know, when I look at it from a writing aspect, and then, bro, you could have even turned Gunther babyface out of that if you wanted to. You got a heel come out the next night saying, what, are you kidding me? You know, you're going to help him. I mean, there are so many ways, but he's tied into the kids for his whole career. Can you imagine if you're a Make-A-Wish kid and you get to go in a ring with John Cena? Oh, my God. To me, what a missed opportunity, man.
Wow, that's a great idea, Vince.
It's so awful what they did, man. It doesn't have to be that way, you know. There's a million other ways they could have did it, and it just the way they did it was so fucked up. There was no confetti. There was no, you know, like when Flair retired, you know what I mean? All the confetti and the sparkles dropping and the feeling and the music and everything. There was just nothing. It just makes you want to get into a fight in the parking lot. You know what I mean? It was like the most awful feeling in there. There was no confetti. There was no celebration. Then they run that stupid reel, you know? It's just like, get the fuck out of here. It was awful. You know, man, hey, let me just say this. I'm just a clown, man. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know anything. I'm just speaking on behalf of myself, how I felt when I saw it. And I'm speaking for a lot of people apparently that felt the same way. You know what I mean? So there it is. But man, I don't know the psychology like you guys, man. I don't know how you can get it to double back and become something way cooler down the road. I just know that sucked the air out of the building, man. That sucked. That sent everybody home. People probably paid $500 for those fucking tickets, man. You know, it took everybody. I mean, people were probably excited for that for months and months. You know, going there to see that match for months. So excited, you know. I'm going to see Cena's last match. All that hype, all that, you know, and then just get there and shit on them all like that, man. Just awful, man. It was like a nightmare, man. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, man. Gosh.
I think that was part of the reason, because you guys know, I mean, you know, now you got to really look at this thing, because you remember there was the whole discrepancy and drama and conflict about not doing the last match in Boston. Remember? Sure. And remember the story that came out was the WWE wanted X amount of dollars from the arena to have the last night there. Now I'm wondering if that story was bullshit, because if that's the finish they had in mind, bro, could you imagine if they were in Boston? But bro, literally those people,
it would have been a shooting.
They would have rioted, bro, in Boston. And so now I'm looking back at that whole story and I'm like, bro, they knew they wanted that to be the finish. They were not doing that finish in Boston, man.
That's a great point. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I remember that being the talk about it too.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
was
awesome seeing Rob there, though.
yeah, it was really upsetting, man. I hate it when they do that, when they go out of their way to purposely upset you. You know what I mean? I hate it when they do that, man. And I'll never understand it, you know?
You know, Joe, now that you mention it, he might be the only person in history, at least that I can remember, to tap out from a sleeper hold.
Right. I can't think of anybody that ever did it.
No.
I've never seen it ever. It's like you hang on, you fight. It doesn't even hurt. It just makes you black out. You know what I mean? So it's not like a painful hold that you have to tap out of. It's not like a leg lock or something. So it just seems so weird he tapped out. I've never even seen that. It caught me off guard. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck was that? You know? Very strange, man.
I'm curious too, like, because Cena always has been kind of giving back a lot of the ways, you know, even too much to an extent sometimes, I think. And like, I'm sure maybe he made a big case to like, no, I need to lose in my final match. But I mean, like, if you think from the creative aspect of it all and what it means to the fans, those people buying tickets, like you said, Jay and Vince, from a creative aspect of it all and making it pay off in a big way, it's like, man, you got to put Cena over, it almost feels.
Yeah, you know, I swear, I always give the, you know, I'm very hard on the WWE. I really am. I'm very hard on the creative, but I always give them the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. And I am sure, you know, and Rob knows Cena way better than I do. I'm just going by what I heard and what I see. I'm sure Cena laid this out. But there's got to be somebody in a higher level saying, John, we appreciate that. We ain't doing that. You know what I mean? There had to be somebody stepping up, because you know John's going to want to do everything he can to put Gunther over, but there's got to be somebody there creatively in management. John, we appreciate that, but man, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And nobody said that. I mean, that's what they did.
Yeah, it's way it all shaped out. Rob, is there kind of like, from the wrestler perspective at all, like, and like a lot of the times, you know, you don't say you're going to have like a retirement match or anything to that effect, but like, if you knew like you're having your last match, would you kind of feel obligated to put somebody over, like doing the favors in that way? Or would it kind of be, would you understand, maybe take a step back and look at the bigger picture of things too, if it benefited for you to win, so to speak?
I wouldn't be stuck on putting somebody over, but I mean, when you mention that, by the way, spark them if you got them.
Spark them if you got them.
Reminds me of my last return in 2015 to WWE, because they jobbed me out my entire time. I had 88 matches in 5 weeks, and the entire time, and it's on me that I didn't go to them sooner and complain. I ate it, wanted to show I was easy to get along with, whatever. And then at the very end, I went, you know, to Hunter and told him, you know, we had a talk. Mm-hmm. And then I had one more match, and I beat Cesaro, who's, in my opinion, like the best guy they had there. So like, I didn't, you know, if anybody, you know, like I would have happily put him over. But anyway, during that talk, it was said, no, you're right. Like you should have been going over, like every match you were here to build you up and give the kids a rub, and then you put someone over on your way out. And instead, what happened with me was the exact opposite. And that was because there was no thought put into me being there. You know what I mean? They had so much going on, and they had so many obligations to guys they were bringing up, younger guys from NXT, blah, 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 pushing these guys. And so anyway, so, I mean, I would like to think that I would speak up and do the right thing. You know, and hopefully I learned a lesson from keeping my mouth shut and trying to be easy to get along with before, but I don't know. You know, a lot of times I believe in being passive, and then afterwards, part of that is questioning, you know, like, was that too much to fucking, did I just get walked on? You know, but that's part of it.
For sure. No, it's interesting to get a writer's standpoint and a wrestler's standpoint, and promoter too, and Jay too. So it's pretty neat to get all those different viewpoints on it. Oh man, it seemed like a big kind of strike on that one. For sure.
I'll say.
Yeah. But hey, something that is being creative and stuff. Let's talk about it. Is JCW Lunacy. I caught the latest episode, and the coal miner's glove match was on the card, which is like something you don't necessarily see in today's wrestling world. So there's definitely some stuff going on there. Vince, we talked about it on the previous interview and stuff. But Jay, I wanted to get your perspective as well. How's it been having Vince in the mix of it all?
It's been fantastic, man. It has been the most fun ride ever. And I mean that. It's been extremely exciting for multiple reasons. Number one, the most obvious, our numbers and views are up 400%. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
We got like sometimes 2,500, 3,000 live viewers watching our event, you know? And I remember we were trying to crack 100 live viewers for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And, but it's not only that, I know the show is good. Like, I know it's good. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people said a lot of different things when we started talking about Vince coming in. A lot of people were like, oh, man, you know, you had the haters. You had people that didn't understand. You had people saying, what are you going to do, man? He's going to ruin your company and everything. And to me, that's funny because I'm right here. Like, I'm right here. Like, how would that happen? How would he ruin my company when I'm right here? You know what I'm saying? We are literally working together, you know? And he knows more than me. He's smarter than me. He's more creative than me. And I like what he's doing. I genuinely really like the stories he's doing, where he's taking these things. When he first lays them out and sends me the shows, sometimes I don't understand right away. You know what I mean? I call him up. He takes me through it and says what we're going to do, download it or whatever. Man, I sincerely love what he's writing. You get what I'm saying? I'm a fan of what he's writing. So it's exciting. You know, I can focus on my music. I can, you know what I mean? I know JCW is in good hands with Vince. And it's crazy to see somebody with that type of passion on JCW. That you know, I've always been the only one that had that kind of passion. And now here I meet Vince, and he's got the same amount of passion, if not more, man. And it feels incredible that he genuinely cares. We talk sometimes till 4 or 5 in the morning, man. We like schoolgirls, ideas and getting giddy and shit. You know what I'm saying? We come up with good ideas and shit, man. That's exciting because we know they're gonna work, you know. And it's like fucking, I love it, man. I sincerely do. It's the most fun I've ever had with JCW, hands down. You know.
So, how did you guys happen to get to start working together?
Okay, I knew that having Vince Russo write for the show is gonna mean, first of all, I've always been a really big fan of the whole Monday Night Wars thing. I've read every book about it. I've seen every documentary about it. I'm very I'm very aware of everything that happened in that whole thing, and I'm very familiar with that whole shit and how it went down, you know. So I know that bringing in a guy like Vince Russo, and I did not know if we're going to be able to get along. I did not know what he would be like. You can't possibly know that until you work together, you know what I mean? But I knew that if we brought him in and we could make it happen, he is worth more than any wrestler. Because a wrestler just comes in and does his one match. That's it. That's all they're invested in, is in their one match. Russo's invested in the entire show. You see what I'm saying? He's going down the line, working every show, every pre-tape in the back, everything, you know. And that says a lot, you know what I mean? It's a giant role for him to take. And it's a much more difficult one than just taking a match, you know, like a wrestler would. It's a much bigger investment to make, you know. But I didn't know we were going to actually land Vince. But the thing is, when I do this, I always start with the top. I always start with the biggest guns, you know, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. It's like when I was trying to get Lunacy together, one of the first guys I called was Rob. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, you know, you start at the top. You never know. You know what I mean? He might want to come in and do it, you know? And so it's the same thing. We're looking for somebody to come in and do a role as commissioner or something like that, you know? And Vince just seemed like the perfect fit. So I reached out to him and we began talking very slow at the beginning. You know, I would ask him to watch the show. I would send him emails saying, please watch the show. He was always cool, hit me back, you know what I mean? But it's like we just slowly built up a friendship more and more, and it became more and more of a possibility, you know what I mean? And sure enough, we fucking did it, man. We pulled it together. We had our first shows together. They went like cakewalk, man. Smooth as fucking can be, you know? And now we got this well-oiled machine that we're both extremely proud of, man. I mean, I think that's our most impressive thing is when people come to JCW, when they see the entire production and how well we operate with each other. I think that is our best, most flattering asset is we all really are a family. You know what I mean? If Vince came in and slid right into that spot, you know what I mean? Perfectly, man. And he's insanely talented. And his ideas are insanely off the hook. And when you hear him, sometimes they're crazy at first. But then he comes up with the freshest shit, man. The totally funny shit, totally deep shit. You know what I mean? It's just very fun. This whole thing has been very, very exciting, man. And I couldn't be any more honest, man.
Vince, how much initially, I don't think I asked you this, how much, and Jay, you mentioned it, like kind of like a slow talk conversations and stuff like that. How much initial apprehension did you have kind of getting back into the creative
I just listen, you got to understand, I worked with Joe at WCW and WWF. I worked with him at both companies, and bro, we always got along. I was always entertained. They were always good to me. So it was never a Joe question. It was a wrestling question.
Right.
Man, I dealt with a lot of politics and I dealt with a lot of bullshit. And I really, really had such a bad taste in my mouth about pro wrestling. And I was like, man, there is just absolutely no way in hell I'm going back to that. I mean, man, Rob would tell you, Jay will tell you, there's a lot of politics involved. And I think what happens is when you're younger, it's one thing. But as you get older, it's like, bro, I ain't dealing with this shit. I'm too old to deal with this political bullshit. It's not that important to me. You know what I mean? So I never thought I was ever going to get back into it again. But then, you know, I mean, Jay's just he's a different animal. He's nothing like that. And that's the thing, man. You talk about just a writer's dream. Bro, do you know what it is to have somebody just drop 20 to 25 unbelievable characters in your lap? I am talking about characters that have been created and developed for months and years. And for somebody to just say, here, to a writer, bro, all of a sudden you're like, you're in this playground. Because the characters have already been created and they're freaking great and they're well defined. Now, as a writer, it's just a matter of, okay, let's get them in storylines. We got to get storylines going for everybody. Let's get some reality based. But to get like 25 characters, here you go, bro. It's a dream. And I got to say this about Jay, man. And bro, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Dom, I went to the first show in Denver, Colorado, because I live in Denver.
Right.
I walked into that building, bro, because of my past experience. I'm expecting the worst. And I'm literally saying, thank God, bro, I'm in Denver. I'll just get my car and go home. I mean, it was that simple. It's not like I had to fly out. I'll just freaking go home. Bro, I spent 4 days. I spent 4 days expecting the worst, and it was the complete opposite of what I expected. And I got to tell you this, and this is a true story, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I think you guys will understand this. I watched Jay work for 4 days. I watched it. He didn't even know I was watching him. I was sitting back watching him, listening to him, watching him work. And bro, I swear to you, without a shadow of a doubt, the closest to a Vince McMahon I've ever worked with in my life. And I'll tell you why I think Jay may even be better than Vince McMahon. You know, a lot of people think Vince McMahon was this creative genius. But guys, let's go back to the beginning when Vince Jr. bought the company from Vince Sr. Vince was bringing in these characters from all these other territories that were already developed. They were already developed when he's bringing in Jake Roberts and the Road Warriors and Hulk Hogan. They were already developed. Vince did not create them. They were already developed. And I'm telling you, bro, working with Vince on a creative level, and I think Rob will be able to tell you this, bro, you cannot give Vince McMahon a blank piece of paper and say, write a wrestling show. He can't do that. That's not his forte. You've got to write a show for him, and then he'll be able to go through it and make it better. But to write with a blank piece of paper, I watched Jay, and this is the thing, bro, you will never see in creative people. 1 out of every million. Bro, when you're a creative person, you're outside of the box and your mind is out there. You're not thinking about details. You're thinking about big picture. This freaking guy right here, bro, did both. And I watched him do both. I saw the freaking creative. And then once the creative is laid out, now he's looking at these details. Bro, I never saw that before coming out of a creative person. That's why I had Ed Ferrara. Ed Ferrara was really the detail guy. That's what Ed did because I did it. And to watch Jay do both, bro, that is so rare, and that really tells you really working with a gifted person, bro, without a doubt.
Man, I appreciate that so much, Vince, man. I just can't believe it, man.
It's the truth. I watched it. I mean, Jay, when we were sitting in your tour bus and you were working, I'm watching you, and I'm like, I've never seen the combination of creativity and detail. I've never seen it until I work with Jay. That's the truth.
The bottom line is, man, we have a winning formula that is nuclear, you guys. We sincerely believe in it, man. In our heart and soul, like this is actually something really good, very exciting. And here's the deal. For anybody out there watching, any fans watching, this is what we want. This is what we ask for, please. Give Lunacy a shot. Check out 2 episodes of JCW Lunacy on YouTube, like our 2 latest episodes. We come on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. And here's the deal. Give us 2 episodes worth of your time. And if we're not entertaining you, if we're not thoroughly entertaining you, fuck us. We don't matter at all. You know what I'm saying? You can kick us in the face and walk away, you know, but give us a shot to entertain you because we don't want nothing for free. We want to show you what we got. We want to show wrestling fans what we got. You don't have to be a juggalo to like this product. This has nothing to do with juggalos like that. You know what I mean? This product is for wrestling fans. We are showing wrestling fans what kind of promotion juggalos can put on. You know what I mean? And we're proud of it, man. And we ask everybody, just check out 1 or 2 episodes. And if it's worth keeping in your itinerary, man, thank you. If it's not worth it, fuck us, man. We just would love that opportunity to win your respect, man. So, seriously.
And to your point, Jay and Vince, I've watched 2 episodes of it, catching up and everything. And it's like, it's a blend of like what you were getting from the Attitude Era, but in a newer fashion and like with newer talent and different characters and the ins and outs. You have some veterans in there like James Storm, and they got Willie Mack in there, and you had Too Tough Tony as well, and a lot of like regulars that people might be used to seeing, but there's some new talent too that's getting introduced and mixed in. And Vince, like you said, you guys have a lot of episodes already in the can, and there's some big changes coming in moving forward. So there's a lot to kind of latch on to early on at this point too, at this juncture. So
yeah, man, we got a lot of surprises coming in. We feel that's very important, is to keep, the way I always refer to it as cannons. We have to keep our cannons loaded. We have to continue to hit them with something they don't expect. You know what I mean? When the dust settles, don't let it settle too hard. Don't let fans get too complacent. We got to keep firing these cannons at them. You know what I mean? Kick that fucking dust up. And so that's what we do. We have surprises in line, one after another, and we always have to look in our
Did we lose Jay?
Yeah, I think you know what? I guarantee you he's on his phone and somebody called him. I guarantee.
That's probably what happened, right?
But you know what? What Jay was saying, and let me just chime in because I'm sure he got a call. Listen, man, I honestly think this is what's happened with the WWE. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I've been a wrestling fan since 1970. Okay,
Yeah.
That's how long I've been a wrestling fan. I think with the big contracts, with the ESPN, with the Saudi Arabia, with Netflix, I think with all that, they've already got their money. The checks have already been cashed. So whether a million people are watching or 10 million people, it doesn't matter to them. The checks have been cashed.
Mm-hmm.
One thing with me and Jay is, I swear, man, when you are asking somebody to watch your show, it's just like Rob wanting somebody watch my match. Okay. When we're asking somebody to watch a show, or I'm asking somebody to watch a show I wrote, what I'm saying is I'm asking you to give me your time. Your time is valuable. I view your time as valuable. None of us are here to waste any freaking time. Your time is valuable. So I expect to earn that time. So, me and Joe, man, we're going to go balls to the wall to earn your time. And you know what? Like Joe said, if we don't earn your time, don't watch us. Don't watch us. But I could tell you, man, we agonize over every single episode of Lunacy, every episode.
It's a solid, good mixture of a product too. Like we were talking last time, Vince. It's like you have set backstage segments. Obviously, you have the matches and stuff like that, but there's cool video package interspersed in between. It makes it really fresh and great, fun commentary too. The commentary is so different than what anybody you're going to hear anywhere else. I work with Joe Dombrowski.
Joe is like, has Joe ever worked with a major promotion?
No, he hasn't. Me and him do IWC here in Pittsburgh together.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah,
he is freaking tremendous, man. He's great.
By the way, he came up with all the lyrics to ICP, and the whole idea to that as well. And I'm not saying necessarily for the last 30 years, I don't know, but I mean originally and for a while, that was the truth, was that he, all the lyrics, all the songs, like everything. So he is a creative motherfucker.
Yeah.
He really is. It's and like to self promote like he does with ICP and make it his own independent label and everything. That's just another level to Vince, what you were saying about how much of like a creative genius he is.
Bro, I didn't want to use that word because I didn't want to embarrass him.
Right.
Bro, when you have the combination of creativity and detail, that's genius. It is. That is so special because, bro, you're either one or the other. And to be able to do both, that really is genius level, man. It truly is.
Yeah, 100%. We have some super chats in here. We can hit some of these up real quick while Jay's gone too. Big Horse Legs, thanks for the $5. Bro, my favorite two, RVD and Vince Russo. This is awesome. Happy early birthday, RVD. I just bought some RVD Tiger shorts and some ICP shirts for Christmas. Wow, how about that?
Nice.
What are RVD Tiger shorts? What are those, Rob? What are they?
Yeah, so a third party that WWE uses called Chalkline does WWE merchandise, and they have RVD shorts that are lookalikes of the bottom of my wrestling gear, and they also have tank tops which look like the top part, so you can wear
that's awesome
shorts, and you can have my whole tiger striped outfit.
That is awesome. Very nice. Very nice.
Vince, how much input have you had in merchandise in the past? And do you kind of plan to maybe do that? So maybe with JCW too?
Yeah, I mean, not much. I mean, if anything, like I'll really try to help guys with taglines and stuff, because that's really going to help sell merchandise. But that's really about it. But like I said, man, like you said, when you got somebody as creative as Jay, Like, there's a lot of things I don't need to get involved in because I know he's doing it, man.
Heck yeah. No doubt about that. Another super chat. This is from Juan. Thank you, Juan Lennon. Funhouse. Thanks for the $5. Violent J and Russo. Any thoughts on a Rising Sun championship like the Great Muda tribute idea? Any thoughts about doing any other championships, Vince, I guess?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, man, I think Jay is planning on introducing a brand new Juggalo Championship wrestling belt.
Oh.
And bro, it's Jay.
Yeah.
If Jay's gonna come out with a new belt, you know what that belt's gonna look like. And he showed me pictures of it, man. It's unbelievable. He bears no expense, man. Sometimes to a fault. He has no problem spending money to get this promotion to the next level. That's what's great, man.
To that point, by the way, I remember when he was first thinking of doing the wrestling shows. He had a warehouse somewhere in Detroit, had a ring. Yeah. And when he was talking about it, he was like, yo, dog, like I want to ask the boys, like what they work for, what their fee is. And then I just want to give them like more than they ask for, bro. I just want everyone to have a good time.
and I swear to God, Rob, he is still like that. And me and his business manager have to constantly get on him. Joe, stop, bro. Rob, you know how wrestlers are. I mean, come on, man. And bro, I swear to God, bro, this dude, and Rob knows him, bro, this dude's got such a big freaking heart. It's unbelievable, the heart that he has. And that's why sometimes you got to protect him because, bro, if somebody has a good heart, man, you got two kinds of people. You got people that are really going to appreciate him and love him for it. But let's face it, man, we're in the wrestling business. You got a lot of people that are going to take advantage of that. You do. It's the truth. And that's where, I've constantly find myself trying to protect him because he's got such a freaking heart. And, Rob, man, when you're running your own business, sometimes you can't do that, man, because they're going to take advantage of it. But, man, that's just how he is. And that's what really makes him an incredible person, man. It really does.
I remember reading Terry Funk's book, and there was a story about how he met ICP, and like they brought him in for one of the Juggalo Championship events and stuff like that. And Jay was like, "Oh, we're gonna pay you. And like Terry's like, "Yeah, all right," and all that kind of stuff. And like Terry invited him over to his house and stuff like that. And he was like, "I didn't know who the hell ICP was or anything like that." And then they leave. Like he's like, "But they put like $7,000 under my under like a bowl on my table," and he's like, "I love ICP."
Well, bro, just to give you some idea, and like, bro, look, Rob knows this, even though like it's a little different with Rob because if Rob works indies, they're gonna treat him like royalty, and rightfully so. But bro, your typical indie show, bro, you're lucky if there are a bottle of waters in the back. You're lucky if you get water. You're lucky, bro. Seriously, when I see cases of water, I'm very thankful. Bro, I walk into the first show in Denver. He's doing DoorDash for wrestlers. Like he's feeding everybody. And I'm like, bro, what world are you living in? You can't do this. You've got to, nobody does this, bro. But that's what I mean about him, man. He does these things and it's just, bro, you can't do that. And listen, Rob knows, man, especially when you're dealing with wrestlers. Bro, if you tell wrestler, bro, lunch is on me, they ain't ordering a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bro. You know they're not. And I walk into this and I'm like, bro, wait, you're catering this? Like you cannot do this, Joe. But that, bro, he's just unbelievable that way. He's got such a huge freaking heart. It's unreal, man.
You got to put that in the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bro, do you know, I swear to God, this is always my favorite story to tell. And I think this is why I literally fell in love with ICP. Here he is. Speaking
I'm
of
back.
K-Fake.
Sorry, guys, my phone died.
No, I
Kayfabe,
felt good.
kayfabe. Bro, my first experience with ICP, and I always tell this story because I thought it was hysterical, right? So, bro, I worked with them first at the WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, I'll never forget this. We roll up to the building. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. There's probably an 11 o'clock production meeting, right? Bro, 10 o'clock in the morning, the parking lot is filled with people with clown makeup. And they're barbecuing and they're tailgating at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking and I'm like, bro, I never experienced. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, what the, and somebody has some, oh, these are the juggalos. I'm like, what's a juggalo? So they had to explain the whole thing to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, all day long, I'm looking outside. They're throwing footballs around. They're throwing frisbees around. There's hundreds of people in the parking lot, bro, right?
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is a true story. So, you know, bro, I'm running around like a lunatic getting all these pre-tapes done. That was always my job. I had to get all the pre-tapes done, right? So, bro, the show starts. And like literally,
I can tell this story.
ICP is up next. They're up next. So I'm in Gorilla. I'm like, does anybody know where the clowns are? Bro, they're gone. They're gone. I'm watching these juggalos all day long, and now I'm at the gorilla position, ready to send them. No place to be found, bro. And I got to tell you, I swear to God, I stood there. I did not get met. I thought it was hysterical because I'm like, these guys are throwing the football around for 10 hours in the parking lot, and now it's go time, and there's no place to be found. But bro, that was my education on the juggalos. Joe,
He's talking about when we left.
right.
WWE.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yeah.
But
yeah.
let me just say this for the record. Those fans, they don't come early like that to our concerts and our stuff like that because they love us so much. They come early like that to be together with each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a camaraderie amongst our fan base that is like a family. That's why they chant family all the time. You know, really, really legit is a family. And that's why they get together early. They want to be together. They want to hang out all day. It's just not a place where if you step on another guy's shoes, you're going to be fighting. It is not that type of hip hop concert. You know what I'm saying? It is all love. It is all about making Fago dogs in the parking lot. It is all about, you know, rolling weed up and smoking together. It's all about a good time, man. And that's why they're there early, not because they're there trying to get a glimpse of Jay or Shaggy. They're there to hang out. You know what I mean? That's what's number one. That's why they have mini gatherings, you know, sometimes because they want a reason to gather. They'll get together. There's no concert. There's nothing going on. They just gather in a park. That's actually how we ended up on the gang list because these rural areas, these rural cities couldn't explain why there's 75 people wearing the same shit, right? Gathering in these parks. You know what I mean? And they couldn't possibly think it was anything positive. So it had to be something negative. You know what I mean? With all the merch and the heads getting cut off and all that. But in reality, it's the opposite. It's a beautiful thing, man. These people are here to support each other. It's just unlike anything I've ever seen in the world, man. And that's why they gather early. They want to be together, man. And it's just never gotten old. It's never, ever stopped blowing my wig. That's why my forehead is so enormous at my age now, because my wig keeps getting pushed back by the juggalos. They are the most creative, the most caring, the most unbelievable people ever. The stuff they do, man, and the things they come up with, man, they are just amazing. Absolutely the biggest blessing ever to have our band be the soundtrack for this subculture. You know what I'm saying? It is like unreal that we are the soundtrack to this. It was never in our blueprints. It was never in our plans. It was never something we cooked up. Hey, we're going to have this fan base if we do this or that. That shit happened organically, for real. You know what I mean? We could have never planned something like that. You know what I mean?
The best shit is always organic.
No doubt.
Yeah, man.
No doubt about it, you know? And like, you just got to give it, once you get that organic flame that catches on a little bit, all you need is the creative aspect to get it cooking and moving and everything. And it's like, there's nothing that beats an organic kind of like.
You know who was one of the first juggalos ever?
Mm-hmm.
Rob.
Yeah.
It's real talk, bro. Listen, when we met, we were doing indies around Detroit. There was only 3 guys, maybe 4 young guys in those locker rooms, at least on the shows I was on. There was maybe 4 young guys tops. And that was me, it was Sabu, it was Rob Van Dam, and Dango, Rob's partner Dango. So we would be huddled off in a corner. Mostly Sabu wouldn't be with us if Sheik was there. He would be next to Sheik somewhere. But it would be Rob, Dango, and myself, you know what I mean? Huddled off in a corner. And I remember I gave, like, our first album, Carnival of Carnage, had just come out. Or maybe it was just our very first EP, Rob, Dog Beats.
Oh.
It may have been Dog Beats. But I gave Rob a cassette. And Rob called me and he was like, hey, man, this is really good. Like, I'm actually playing this. Wow. I'm actually playing this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm playing it. I really actually like it, you know? And it was so dope. It was really dope, you know? And so me and Rob kept in touch for years after that, you know what I mean? And then what was I gonna say? We kept in touch, and then I forgot my story. Fuck.
Well, he was the first juggler.
Rob has been one of the first juggalos ever. You know what I'm saying? But we used to come down there. I asked you this last time we were on the show, Rob. You don't remember when you were wrestling the Maestro, or he ended up calling himself Gorgeous George for a while, but he's also known as the Maestro, the guy with the big blonde Ric Flair hair.
Oh, of course I remember wrestling him. Gorgeous George.
And Joey was in your corner as your manager.
That I don't remember.
Yeah. That was so dope.
Okay, where?
It was somewhere in North Carolina. We drove out to see you. We drove all the way to North Carolina. You were doing a meet and greet at like an Art Van furniture store or something. And you were doing that with all the wrestlers on the show. And then we went back to the show itself, and you were like, hey, Joey, you want to manage me? And Joey was like, fuck yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean? So Joey ended up managing you that night in your corner, and you were wrestling the Maestro. And that's what we did. We used to come see you at ECW. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. When me and Rob were friends bonding over, he liked ICP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey man, I want to send you something. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, it's this wrestling I'm doing in Philly. You got to see this shit. And I was like thinking nothing about it. I was like, okay, send it. He sent me a VHS tape, a VCR tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was clips of ECW. It blew my mind. The Natural Born Killing shot, the way that everything was shot like Natural Born Killing, you know what I mean? The fans ecstatic and shit. And Rob provided my first look at ECW. You know what I mean? He sent me that video, and me and the guys used to watch that shit on repeat, man. It was like about 50 minutes long, and it was all just highlights from ECW. And so then my manager, Billy, and Joey and I started riding out to Philly all the time to see Rob, you know? And we started riding out to Philly and hanging out with him at that big hotel. What was that hotel where all the wrestlers stayed?
Well, it was the Holiday Inn back then, I think.
And New Jack threw his ashtray out the window and it smashed through my windshield.
Holy shit.
You remember that, Rob?
No, but do you remember the first time that you came to the ECW arena and then you thought that I saw you and turned my back on you and you went back home?
Yeah, what happened? We had a fallout.
Oh,
yeah.
I was following Rob. We left the hotel. I was so mad. And I wrote Rob the meanest letter, and I've always regretted it. I really did. Just talk about makes my face get red, you know?
No, but otherwise I wouldn't have had any idea what the fuck was going on. Cause like Joe he would always say, man, we're gonna go to Philly, man. If you're gonna hook us up with tickets, man, we'll be there. I'm like, dude, it's like a 6-hour drive at least from Detroit. We don't care, man. We'll hop in. But he said that for several shows, and then wasn't able to make it. And so I didn't really expect this to be any different. But he showed up one time.
No. Here's what happened. We were at the hotel smoking, and you were like, follow me. You had your car and I had mine, and it was me and Billy and Joey, I think, and maybe the Rude Boy, you know, and we were following you. So you pulled in behind the ECW arena, then you cruised in, and the security guard stopped us when we were trying to pull in. And so I had my hand down. I was like, Rob, Rob. You know what I'm saying? But the security guy kept stopping us. And I was like, I'm with Rob Van Dam, man. I'm following him. I'm following that car, you know? They were like, you ain't following nobody. Get the fuck out of here. So we figured we would still get in, you know? We figured we'd still get in, but we couldn't, man. We could not find a way in. So I wrote this nasty letter, and I left it on Rob's windshield, like, you left us hanging.
I have
But we recovered.
You guys got back here. It's okay. Oh man, what? Holy shit, that's pretty nuts, though, man. And like Vince, how from checking out ECW on the fringe of it all, when you were in the thick of it, how much did the ECW product float over in WWE in certain ways? Did you kind of notice?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like I did not watch that much ECW. I really didn't. But when I watched it, I used to watch it, and I used to watch the stuff they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear, I used to always ask myself, how in God's name is Heyman getting them to do that shit? Because I swear to God, Dom, the times when I did watch, I'm like, somebody's going to die. People got to understand. We see that shit every week now. Yeah, we see it. No, nobody was doing that back then. Mm-hmm. So when I would watch it, I'm like, bro, somebody's going to die. How the hell is he convincing these guys to do this shit? That was always my feeling. Whenever I watched an ECW show, I always walked away feeling that way.
Wow.
I think those guys wanted to do that. They wanted to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
There's a little bit of motivation. Yeah, Paul Heyman was a motivator too. He'd do those locker room chats and stuff like that too.
I knew that's what he was gonna say, though.
Yeah. Right.
I got to sit in on those motivational speeches at the beginning of the show, because I'd be in there with Rob, and he would call all the wrestlers in, and he would give like a inspirational speech, you know. And I would be sitting over there with Billy, and we'd be watching it, just fascinated to be sitting in there watching this. You know what I mean? We were there we were there at the second pay-per-view ever. That's the one that Rob Van Dam and Sabu kicked our ass.
Oh shit.
You know, we appeared. It was so cool. Rob talked to Paul, and he was like, hey, I know this rap group, and they're actually wrestlers, you know. So, and they're doing pretty good right now. You know, we had just went platinum, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they had us come out and do like warm the crowd up in Orlando. Was that in Orlando?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, yeah. We came out and we were hyping the crowd up, warming the crowd up, you know. And then Rob and Sabu came out, you know what I mean? And they kicked our ass and shit. And that was like one of our coolest moments, man. That was one of our claim to fames, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. What a baptism by fire that is, right?
The night that you met Jenna Jameson.
Oh yeah, she was there too, wasn't she?
How about that?
She was always mean to me. She was mean to us. She wouldn't say nothing, you know.
Bro, do you know, guys? I swear to God, man, Vince, I could tell you Vince stories that nobody would believe, but we were doing Val Venus vignettes. Okay. Yeah. This is before Val ever appeared on TV. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bruce Pritchett and myself, you know, mostly Bruce, but I was there with him, but it was mostly Bruce. We got Jenna Jameson to appear in these vignettes. Yeah. Okay. Bro, we're shooting these at Bruce's house in freaking Connecticut, right? And bro, you know, like Jenna Jameson is Jenna Jameson, but still, like, we got to be gentlemen.
Sure, yeah.
So Bruce had one of these huge jacuzzi hot tubs in his house. Okay. So Val's in the hot tub in his shorts and everything. And before Bruce could say, Jenna, would you mind, bro, the robe comes off, absolutely naked. She gets in the hot tub with Val, right? Uh-huh. So, bro, the whole shoot was like this. Like, and bro, this is really the early years of Jenna Jameson. So
she looked really good.
Yeah, and really trying to make a name for herself. So she probably did things that I'm sure she wouldn't have done a couple of years later, but she had no problem, right? So me and Bruce are like, holy shit, right? Bro, I swear to God, we now have to bring the footage to Vince McMahon, and we have to show Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Bro, Vince cut about 75% of what we shot because he said she's ugly.
What?
Bro,
What?
Bruce and I were like, what are you going to say to Vince, right? But we're like, are you effing... Bro, he cut practically everything because he thought she was unattractive.
Wow.
We were freaking heartbroken, bro. Heartbroken.
Man, I was 12 years old, 13 years old. I knew who Jenna Jameson was. It's like,
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer.
We did another thing like this. You guys will get a kick out of the story because Vince's mind, like, bro, remember the Blair Witch Project?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when that came out, bro? Like the internet was kind of just starting and nobody knew if it was a shoot or not.
Right.
Right.
Remember the promotion they did before the movie came out. People didn't know if this shit was real or not. So like everybody couldn't wait for the movie to come out, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, bro, the movie's coming out that weekend, right? Me and Ed Ferrara, we take Stevie Richards and the Blue Meanie deep in the woods of Connecticut. Now, bro, keep this in mind. Sable is suing the WWF. It was the WWF at the time.
Yeah.
So me and Ed get Stevie and the Blue Meanie, and we're going to shoot the Blonde Bitch Project. Okay, so bro, I swear to Dom, you said it's cold and out, bro. This is in Connecticut in the winter, bro. It's freaking 10 degrees outside.
Oh my god,
we go deep in the woods, bro. We had the shots of the camera up Meanie's nose with the snots covered up, bro. It was fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're high-fiving each other, right? So, bro, what do you got to do? You got to show Vince the footage.
No.
So, and Rob knows the look. Rob, when he has the glasses down at the end of the nose and he's looking over the glasses, you know you're in fucking trouble, right? So Dom, we're there. Me, Ed, and Vince. And we're playing the footage. And me and Ed are dying.
Yeah.
He's not selling anything.
Oh, man.
Well, he finally turns to us and says, what exactly am I looking at? And we said, Vince, there's this movie coming out this weekend, The Blair Witch Project. We told them about the marketing campaign. Bro, this is going to do huge at the box office. This is a parody of this.
Yeah.
Bro, he turned to me and Ed and he said, nobody's going to go see that movie. We're not airing this. And he didn't. To this day, bro, in the vaults in Stamford, Connecticut, wherever they are, lies the Blonde Witch Project. It was so good. And Vince didn't get it. He just didn't get it, man.
That sucks. That sucks.
What a kick in the
and
balls.
he will never go back and probably even know how much that movie blew up, right?
No, he wouldn't, man. But that broke our hearts, man.
Oh man.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a real bummer. That's a real bummer. Jeez.
Then I'll never forget, bro. Do you guys remember? I'm sure you do. Joe Walsh was with the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Then Joe Walsh broke out with Rocky Mountain Way. Remember how huge Rocky Mountain Way was, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bro, Joe Walsh had his people contact the office. Rocky Mountain Way just came out and was red hot. He wanted to perform it free of charge at WrestleMania. Vince McMahon didn't know who Joe Walsh was, so he said, "No, thank you. I never heard of him." Vince would do stuff like that, bro, where we would just like shake our heads and, man, bro, he was just out of touch with stuff like this, man.
That sucks, man. It's like he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah. Joe, I swear, and this is the last story I'm going to tell you guys, but I swear, bro, I'm sitting with him at his living room table. And he says, Vince, I keep getting this call from this guy who claims to be a rock star.
Yeah.
I said, well,
I know this story.
Well, I don't know, Vince. He says he's with a group called Kiss, and his name is Gene Simmons. I never heard of him. Bro, you got to understand. I had a gold card to the Kiss Army, bro. I've been, and bro, this is like 1995.
Oh man,
he didn't know who Gene Simmons and Kiss. And I'm like, Vince, take the freaking meeting. Like you guys know, Gene Simmons is a marketing freaking genius.
Absolutely,
and I said, Vince, forget you don't know who he is. You'd never heard of him. Bro, this guy's a marketing genius. Take the meeting. Bro, he had no idea. Bro, that's how Kiss wound up going to WCW, because Vince and Linda went out to dinner with Gene Simmons. Gene proposed the whole demon gimmick, and Vince didn't know who he was, and Vince said, no, thank you. So his next call was to WCW, and that's when they did the gimmick, and Kiss appeared on WCW. Vince literally had no idea who they were.
That's wild.
Wild, man.
Rob,
if it was 95, you know, I'm just thinking, if it was 95, they were still in that era where they were not wearing the paint. You know what I mean? So maybe what they presented to him was them without the paint, because they didn't put the paint back on until 96. You know what I mean?
It might have been 96, Joe, because I remember at the time they were on the cover of Playboy. I remember that.
Okay.
And they were in makeup, and all the girls were in clown makeup. So it was probably 96-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. That is
Even worse. That's when they were like literally on top of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. They were really catching on again too. It was like big time.
Yeah.
Rob, was there anything when you pitched to Vince or you heard about Vince that just completely went over his head? Do you remember? Like anything like that?
You know, the only thing that really comes to mind was my attempt to make a joke one time. He didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, it was a really stupid attempt for a joke anyway. I just, you know, it was normally an awkward, forced conversation where I'd be down by the ring and he'd be coming by and he'd say, hey, Rob. And I'd say, hey, Vince. And we'd shake each other's hands and just kind of nod, you know, shit. What am I like, that was a lot of what my relationship was. But one time I was just so tired and I felt like bitching about it. And when I saw him, I did that handshake. I said, man, I think I need a new T-shirt that says "I heart bed," which was a really stupid thing to say. But he did that thing, like kind of like what he's talking about, where kind of like he sat there and he's like he wanted me to know that he was giving me a moment. So he just, you know, he was thinking about it, and I was like, no, Vince, I'm just saying I'm really tired.
Yeah.
That's it. That was all I was getting at.
Yeah, kind of on me. It was a stupid thing to say, but yeah.
I remember when me and Joey went to WWE or F at the time. Vince McMahon walked up to us. Our first day was a SummerSlam at Madison Square Garden, you know. And Vince walked up to us and shook our hands, and he said, "So, who won the Grim Tim contest?" And our mouths just dried up, because the Grim Tim contest was a contest we had where, see, what happened was we had a bus driver named Grim Tim, and the bus broke down very for real in the city, the actual city, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
What? Wow.
I swear to God. And there was only a gas station there. There was nothing. It was just a gas station, like to pull the trucks off or whatever. It wasn't even a truck stop. It was just a little gas station. That was it. In all the Truth or Consequences.
That Western movie that you did?
Huh?
Just that Western movie you did where you went to Charles Manson's ranch?
No. But what happened was we had a contest because the bus broke down and we were there for 2 days. So we thought it'd be funny if we had a contest. You could win 2 days with ICP stranded in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. You know, we thought fans would think that was cool to get to spend 2 days doing nothing with us, you know, in a tour bus with nowhere to go, literally nothing to do, you know. So when he came up to us and asked us who won the Grim Tim contest, we just couldn't believe he even knew what the fuck that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it tells me he looked online, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he must have been looking into us a little bit, because I just couldn't even believe that he asked us that, man. And we talk about that all the time still, like how shook we were. Our mouths dried out, you know?
I believe it. That's crazy. Good for that's pretty neat that he did that actually.
Yeah.
We have some good super chats here. This is a big one. Seth, you guys heard our intro music? This is the guy that did our intro song, and he gives us $50, Rob. So thank you, Seth.
Wow, that's
Whoa.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas to the Van Dam fam. Yes, loved seeing RVD get the pop of the night on Saturday. I was in Vegas. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I was in Vegas seeing Mariah Carey. That was my gift to myself. Merry Christmas to Vince, too. How would you have written RVD's WWE run? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because, you know, man, I swear to God, when I went over to TNA in like 2002 and I was right in there, man, I didn't watch any WWE stuff for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't see Rob's run in WWE. I really didn't get to see it, man. And I wish I would have, but man, I didn't watch WWE for God, bro. I've never seen the Rock Hogan match to this day.
Seriously?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody tells me that to this day because I just wasn't watching it at the time. I've never seen that match.
Bro, I'm gonna send that to you. Make sure you have to watch it, man. That is just a great. Like he pulled that match out of the bottom of his balls, man. Hogan actually worked a good match at that point. Like it was a fantastic fucking match. You've got to see it and give credit where credit's due, man. They put on an incredible show that night, man. It's one of my favorite matches of all time, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's funny though, because you know, during Rob's era, and man, I swear, and I can't quite put my finger on this as to why. But like Rob was one of those guys, and I mean right up there, bro. And you know, you had guys like Rob and Nash and Hall. Back then, bro, there was a level of coolness. Yeah. That was part of the appeal. Freaking Rob Van Dam was effing cool. Then you had Nash and Hall. Bro, we don't have that today. Like there's wrestlers, I don't know what it is, but at some point they just stopped being cool. And man, when you talk about Rob, and like I said, Nash and Hall, when you talk about Austin, when you talk about The Rock, bro, even Taker, there was a level of coolness. And I don't know where we lost that in professional wrestling. I just don't think you get that anymore. Rob, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? When I watch today's product, I just don't think there is that cool appeal that the kids want to be. And I can't understand that. I don't know what happened.
It's pretty wild, man. I mean, I feel the same way. And I try not to be one of these guys that's like, oh, wrestling was so much better in my day. I really try hard not to be like that. It's the same thing with music for me. I don't want to be like, oh, rap sucks today. It was my day. It was awesome. I don't want to be one of those old guys talking like that. But, man, it's hard to accept wrestling is as good today as it was because it's so different. It moves 1,000 miles an hour. You know what I mean? And the other thing is there's so much to look at, from the advertisements all over the ring to the LED walls everywhere to the way they designed the entire fucking arena with shit. There's so much going on, man. It's such a production now that, you know, in our day, it was like a light above the ring. That was it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to get used to for me. You know, I feel like I'm shell-shocked by looking at all the production these days. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, Dom, as a heads up, even though my laptop is plugged in, I've been watching my battery go down.
Shit, really?
It's going to die soon, and when it does, I can just call back with my phone.
Okay, yeah, you can just call back via phone. So, yeah, you should be good. Rob, what do you think? Like, where's the cool factor going today?
Yeah, another guy I just want to throw out there because I don't want to miss, but like freaking Sean Waltman.
Yeah.
Like, what kid wouldn't have wanted to be Sean? Those are the guys. Rob, what do you think happened that cool factor is just not what it is today?
I don't know. I mean, what about like the way the fans react to, like, say, Jey Uso, and he's doing the yeet and everybody in the crowd is doing it? Don't they think he's cool?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we're older, and it's just not that appealing to us, but to the kids, that is their cool. That is their.
But I don't know. Is that cool, or is that crowd participation? Because they're into that big time these days, man. They're into the sing-alongs and the chants and doing the yeets. You know, the fans have almost become part of the show. And I'm saying I think Jey Uso is a cool guy, but I think they're doing that because that's their part of the show. You know what I mean?
But it's still cool. It's still cool that like it's you got to there's still that's even cooler actually. That they get to be involved like that and get to help define a guy's gimmick by the way the crowd reacts. You know what I mean? I think it's definitely cool, man. It's not something I would say sucks about modern wrestling. That there's so much crowd reaction like that, and they got to learn the when exactly to yell out and cheer, and get to know their characters, and then they end up having all this stuff they do together as a routine, the crowd, I think that's actually cool, man. I mean, like, I don't think it holds back from wrestling. We got to try to think with a young mind, It's not like look what we're comparing it up against, though, Vince. Those are like the coolest guys in wrestling ever. You know what I mean? So they're going up against Mount Rushmore of wrestling. You know what I mean?
Cool, yeah.
What's the girl wrestler's name that everybody loves that has like a painted face, and she was like with Dom Mysterio?
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, people really think she's cool.
Yeah.
Big time.
She thinks she's cool, Like, yeah, she is cool. She comes across, like she's enjoying every minute of being on camera and has that presence. But yeah, I think that's true too, what Joe said, though.
You know what I think might be a little bit of it too is the attainability nowadays. Everybody's so accessible that I think, when you look back in the day, like somebody like, Scott, like Rob knows, Scott Hall's my all-time favorite. And I thought he was cool, like the coolest thing. And then you get Nash in the mix and you get somebody like RVD coming in later on and everything like that. And so it's like you can't really fathom like being around those people at that point in time.
Yeah.
And like nowadays, everybody's pretty accessible. You can reach out to somebody via Twitter, and sometimes they'll reply to you, maybe, but it's like there's that attainability, and so there's not that air of mystery that's going on. Like, man, could you imagine if running into Rob Van Dam? How wild would that be? And like nowadays, everybody to an extent is accessible, especially if they're on social media.
What a great point, man. That is so wild, man. I reached out to Nick Diaz. And he just hit me right back. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? I fucking reached out to Fred Durst last night and woke up and he hit me back twice, And I just like, this is so cool that you can reach out to guys like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you have everybody's number. You know what I mean?
You're right.
You're right, though. It makes them way more accessible, though. So that's something to look at, too, They were untouchable back in the day. These guys were stars, and stars are up in the sky, and you can't be in their company. You can't be around them. But today, because they're doing live chats all day. You know what I mean? They're doing live streams when they're walking through the airport and talking shit. They're like everywhere. So you get you get to see exactly. It takes away a lot of the mystery about these guys.
Yeah, mystique.
Because you get to see what they're like when they're riding to the airport. You get to see what they're like when they're chilling with their friends and they're out drinking. They live stream all of that shit. The musicians and the wrestlers. And so it takes away a lot of the mystery and that hunger to learn more about them. You know what I mean? Which makes a fan fanatical, And today, they're so accessible that it takes down the couple notches to that stardom, I feel like. You know what I mean?
It dissipates a little bit of your imagination, I think.
Also, how about the perspective of the one who is judging? They might look at it this way. There's a lot more celebrities since like everyone's got a YouTube page or OnlyFans. There's a lot more stars,
Yeah.
And so there's that too.
Yeah, man. It makes a big difference, It makes a big difference in that whole celebrity fan dynamic. You know what I mean? But it goes with the times, man. It's one thing about the world. The only guarantee about this world is change. It's always going to be different. It's always going to be a change, And that's what's happening. You go 20 years later from today, wrestling is going to be a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's always going to change, man. There's no keeping it. It's just it's an illusion to think it's going to stay the same. It's never going to stay the same. It's always going to evolve in some way.
100%. We got some shout outs for you guys too. The Polly Mathing, thanks for the Canadian 420. Hey, nice job. The whole effing Juggalos, great show, boys. Thank you. We have the big horse legs again. He said McMahon was in a relationship with HBK during Jenna. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's why I didn't find her attractive. Hey, shout out to Vito, by the way, who's watching. On Skull.
What was that?
Vito. Shout out to Vito.
Oh, Vito's watching.
Oh, Vito. Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Vito.
Oh, big Vito. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
The big Vito is causing Jay all kinds of hell these days, man. You watch the show, Jay's got his hands full with Big Vito, man.
Let me say something about Vito. Vito stepped up, and he is a star. When I watch Lunacy, Big Vito is a fucking star. You know, he's a bad guy, and when you read the comments, they love Vito. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He stepped up to this position, this opportunity, and he knocked it out of the fucking park, man. He really stepped up and you know, awesome. Hit a grand slam. Like, he is really killing this shit, man. And it's surprising how much I like the character, you know? Yeah. I like the looks, I like the way he's vulnerable at times, you know? He does a great job of being this tough badass, but also vulnerable at times, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Vince is yelling at him, he cowers down a little bit, you know?
You know, that's the thing, man, I think, and this is what I love about JCW. I love it. And I think when people watch the show, they're going to see this immediately. Bro, 90% of that backstage stuff is ad-libbed.
Yeah.
We aren't writing promos word for word. We're letting the talent know, okay, this is the situation. I just did this and you're mad because of this. Go. And that's how we're doing the pre-tape. And I mean, between Vito and Joe and Jasmine St. Clair, you know, guys, you know, man, when somebody's mesmerizing in a promo, like you know it, you can see it, you can feel it. The heart is just not in it. And that's the one thing about JCW that I think makes it so totally different. These backstage vignettes are real. They're ad-lib. I mean, Vito came up. I swear to God, I thought I had Vito the other day when I was doing it. I first of all, I'd known Vito for 34 years, and he was starting to get on my nerves. So I just said to him, none of this is written out. I said to him, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't you running around in a dress at some point? Yeah. And Vito turned around without missing a beat, and he goes, yeah, I was under investigation. Bro, I swear I had to do everything to stop from popping. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even, you know, Joe, the stuff that comes out of their mouths when you just let them go. You can't write stuff like that. And that's why I said, if you check out our show, I think you're going to see that difference immediately. The talent don't talk like wrestlers. They talk like real people. And I think
and look at the job Vamp's doing. Look at Vamp.
Oh my God, Vamp. Oh my God, bro.
Vampiro's on the show now too. It's awesome.
He's doing a phenomenal job, man. Yeah. His promos are next level. Like they give you chills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And a lot of times with those guys too, bro, it's one take. We're not sitting there doing 3, 4. It's one take, and when you give performers that freedom, you'll be surprised what you get back in return, man.
What's the name of the zombie tag team again? It's the
Outbreak.
The Outbreak. So I was catching the backstage scene with them, and Big Vito is getting chased down by them. And as they're getting closer to him, he's like, "Body of Christ, body of Christ."
Yeah, he had all of that, man. It's so funny.
And speaking of the Outbreak, bro, those guys to stay in character, bro. Do you know how difficult that is, bro? I'll be there producing them, right? And like they'll be doing something with Vito, and Vito's talking, and bro, they're doing that gurgling. They're like, bro, it's and Joe, how young are these guys?
Kids, man, kids.
Bro, I'm watching these guys, and I'm like, how do you stay in character? man, there's some great. Kerry Morton, man. Oh my.
Kerry Morton is phenomenal. You know
Oh my God.
that's why I was saying earlier, Vince. You know, it's like as important as having stars on the show is. You know, we have been doing a good job of making stars, creating stars. Guys are doing such a good job that the fans can't help but see them as stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're becoming stars. You know what I mean? And these are these guys like the Outbreak. You know, Big Al, Haley J. You know, you can argue she's already a star, but she does a phenomenal job too. You know what I mean? And we couldn't be prouder of this roster, man. These guys are stepping up. They take it serious. They want to be here. And that's who we want, is people that want to be here. You know what I mean? That's who we want. Like when somebody shows a lot of passion about coming on the roster, it's hard to tell them no. You know what I mean? Because if they really in their heart want to be on this roster, you know, they're going to keep coming at you, just like the Outbreak did, just like the Ring Rat did. You know what I mean, Vince?
Yeah.
She kept coming, you know, wanting to get on, wanting to get rode in. And that's impressive to us, you know. And then once we did, we haven't regretted a thing. She does an incredible job, you know.
Yeah. Vince, you just interviewed her too. Right?
Yeah, what a story. What a story. She's got some type of disease. Joe, do you remember the name of it? It's CP. I don't either, but bro, she is constantly in pain. 24/7. The story was amazing. I could not believe what she was telling me. And like that week, she had jumped on somebody's back. And now my father instincts are kicking in because I didn't know all this. And I'm like, what the freak are you doing? But what an unbelievable story she has, man.
Vince, before you got here, the week before you got here, she took one of Shane Mercer's assault and batteries. Moonsault and battery. Yeah. She took that moonsault and battery off the top rope. I could not believe it, man. Where he picks her up like the side, you know, and does a moonsault and lands on her. How could she do that if she's in that kind of pain, man? Unbelievable performer, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, I posted the last episode on my Twitter. X.
My man, thank you, bro. That helps more than you realize, Rob. That's so appreciative, man. Thank you, brother.
Trying to make it easy for the Van Dam fam to join along.
Yeah, we'll be sure to promote it throughout the week and everything. And speaking of, too, we got some super chats real quick, but you guys got a show in Detroit. December 21st here coming up. It's a free show. You can check it out at the is it the Harpo's Concert Hall it's called there?
Harpo's, yep, Harpo's Concert Hall.
And Vince will be there. Matt Cardona will be there. Violent J, Ken Anderson, James Storm, the Cowboy James Storm, plenty of names. And you just bring a canned food, right? Is that correct, Jay? Is that what you do?
If you bring some canned food, you get to get in early and see the special Christmas steel cage match.
Wow.
It's Kerry Morton's Christmas open invitational steel cage match. So he's going to wrestle a mystery opponent in a steel cage. It's the first thing you see when you walk in. If you bring canned foods, you get to get let in early and you get to see that match. Then they quickly tear the cage down and the show starts. You know what I mean? We let everybody else in.
Dude, that's awesome. What a cool event, an idea too. That's so awesome. Hell yeah.
Get those canned goods. You know what I mean?
Joe, what if you bring gummies and it's not really a can, but it's more?
We accept gummies. Hell yeah. Matter of fact, if you bring a bag of gummies, you get to get that stage seating. You know what I mean? You get to get right up around the ring.
A quick plug too for RVD 420 guys too. Greek Glass, 25 days of Christmas. Get the new product sales each day. Week 1 is 20% off December 4th. But go to RVD 420 Collectibles. Check it out, GreekGlass.com. So shout out to them. Marco wanted me to share that out there. So shout out to that. Here's a cool question. Vince, you name dropped this person too on the recent episode I just watched. Was Polymething. Thanks for Canadian $2. Karen Cross to JCW. You mentioned his name there, Vince.
Oh, I mean, I know me personally. I would love to see him and his wife, man. I think both of them are so talented. I mean, that the freedom they would have in our company to be able to shine. I mean, we'll see, man. I know the man over there with the clown makeup is open to everything and everybody. I could tell you that nobody is off limits when it comes to Jay, bro. Nobody.
That's right. Nobody's rejected. Everybody's accepted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
If they want to be here, and they're sincere about it, we'd love to have them. You know,
man, that's awesome. Heck yeah. B Mello. William Alvarez, thank you for the $1.99. Would Vince ever bring the FBI back to Vito and JCW?
Yeah, there's going to be a man. There's going to be a lot of nostalgia, and when I say nostalgia, we are going to be bringing people in that you have not seen for a long time.
I'm excited about. I'm super excited about these guys.
And for we usually see the usual suspects on the indie scene. No, we're digging deep. We're talking about people that were legends and great at what they've done that people have not seen for a while. It's going to be awesome. It's really going to be awesome.
So awesome. Like I was saying earlier, you got to have those cannons loaded. You know what I mean? You got to have those surprises keep coming. And we got loaded cannons, man. We got surprises, man. We got guys on deck coming in to shock everybody. And like Vince said, these are guys you don't see out on the indie scene. These are guys we had to call and talk into coming back. You know what I mean? And they're happy to be, and they're happy to do it because, and we're just super excited, man.
Well, somebody is excited too. Paul Peasy Solda that says, thanks for $10. Just want to say, Vince and Violent J, I'm a new JCW fan and you guys are absolutely killing it. I can't watch WWE or AEW. You guys got the best show right now. Keep it going, brothers. So there you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, right?
That's what we do it for you, brother. We do it for you.
That's it. Check it out. Like Jay said, 2 shows. Check out 2 shows. Get your litmus test for it. See how you feel about it.
Yeah, man.
Devin Dowling here. Thanks for the $1.99. Did Vince Russo ever try to bring Rob into WCW at all?
God, I wasn't around WCW long enough to make that happen. I would have brought Rob in a minute. I remember when Hulk brought you into TNA. I remember how excited everybody was. Man, that was I know, Rob, you had a history with him. Man, bro, that was a devastating blow, huh? Man, I swear, I don't care what anybody says. The day Hulk Hogan passed away, a huge piece of wrestling passed away, man, and that void will never be filled. I mean, what that guy brought to the business and what he done. It's funny because we take for granted a lot of today's fans don't know Hogan's history. Mm-hmm. I lived through that era. And I knew how big he was, and I understood that. And it just seems, as we got into, 2010, 2020, people did not really understand what Hulk Hogan did for the wrestling business, man. And I got to tell you that day, like just a huge piece of the industry died. Nobody will ever be able to fill that guy's shoes, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, kind of in the totality of the whole year for 2025. What you just said is very true to me. I mean, that Hulk Hogan was the god of wrestling. He was a superhero. I talked about him on this show a lot. And so, yeah, devastating. Also, Sabu, who was my mentor. For me, that was, personally, very, very huge, big L I took there. And then, now for a lot of people, they're talking about with Cena retiring about an era ending. And when you look at it, 2025 in a lot of ways has been about that.
Absolutely.
It sure has, man.
What a great point.
Yeah.
You think Hogan and then, Sabu bringing in the ECW and that kind of like tape trading kind of like cool identity going on. Yeah. Like that was a big part of wrestling at the time. And now Cena closing out almost that ruthless aggression kind of era that it is. It's a really great point, man. Yeah. This is an interesting question for Jay here. Juan Lennon is Funhouse. Thanks for the $5. Hey, Violent Jay, happy holidays. Can you tell us about the possibility of a JCW Lunacy video game? If you have a GoFundMe, I'll donate. Wow.
How about that, Jay?
Yeah. Well, we don't know anything about the video game world, but if somebody approached us and wanted to do one, abso-fucking-fruitly. I don't know who to contact to make that happen, but buddy, we would do that in a heartbeat. I mean, come on now. That would be fantastic. That would be a dream come true. Joe, we would most definitely do that.
Were you part of that backyard wrestling game 100 years ago?
Yeah. We were part of both of them,
Yeah. Okay.
JCW was the main promotion you got up to. Like you start off in these backyard promotions and you work your way all the way up in the video game, you know? And the main promotion in the video game was JCW. You know what I mean?
That? Whoa, that's
Yeah,
cool.
which is really cool. And they featured a bunch of our stars at the time. A bunch of our stars, you know? The Rude Boy, fucking Evil Dead. I don't know if you remember Evil Dead, the dead body, the wrestling dead body.
Well, I saw a Rude Boy recently, and that motherfucker, I see him once every 15 years, and he's surprised that I don't recognize him. He just starts talking.
He just shouted at it. Yeah. Yeah. But man, yeah, that was like a huge blessing when that happened. That was a lot of fun, man, having that video game.
I just remember the good-looking blonde on it. You know, she had some booby shots or something on the back. She was on the poster. I don't know. You know,
what was her name? Major Guns, was that it?
Yeah.
Major Guns.
Maybe
and New Jack was on the box.
Hell yeah.
No,
I think I have it. Oh no, I don't have it in here. But yeah, New Jack was on the box. You know, that was a very intense day. That day we were shooting that commercial. New Jack was very intense with in that situation.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Traffic Jam says JCW is the best show right now. Keep it up. So another one there. So thanks.
You guys are crushing it.
You're crushing it.
Hell yeah.
There's another good shout out here for Rob. Jem the Dawn, regular here. Much love and good luck, Rob and Katie. Happy holidays.
Appreciate it, Jem. Happy holidays.
Rob, do you know the sexes of the babies yet?
Yes, I do.
And you're keeping that close to the vest?
No. It's going to be girls.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get ready.
I prefer to be the only man in the house. It's been a standing rule throughout our whole relationship, and so
that's awesome.
Man.
That is awesome.
That's great, man.
Isn't it? It's awesome. It's so awesome.
That's so cool.
El Bastone, thanks for the $10. Championship belts are a revenue stream for wrestling companies. JCW should charge a license fee and allow their current belt maker to make real belts for fans. It would be good for the business. Interesting.
I know the fans keep making them somehow. The fans are doing it. Like we've been signing a bunch of them. They're like total replicas of our belts, and they're damn near as good as our belts. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where they're having them made or what, but you know, we have a new design for our world title that we haven't debuted yet.
Yeah, I was telling them about that when we lost you. I was telling them it's one of the best belts I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely.
And the only thing about it is I feel like we're gonna upset people because so many people have that replica of the original, you know what I mean? And they got them autographed and shit. But that don't matter, you know what I mean?
That's the OG one though. That's the OG one.
Huh?
That's the OG one then. Oh,
yeah, I mean, this belt is very colorful, and it also says lunacy on the belt, you know, which is cool because it's we're trying to lean toward the lunacy world champion, you know, instead of just the JCW world champion, you know. So this belt actually says lunacy right on it, which is cool, you know.
Yeah, that's sweet. Heck yeah.
And what is the difference between JCW and lunacy for those who don't know?
Well, JCW is the name of the promotion, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and Lunacy is the name of the TV show, which is every week Thursday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, you know. So Lunacy is our weekly show, and JCW is the name of the promotion.
Yeah, so if that was any confusion for you guys, there's some clarity on it. Somebody's asking you, Jay, where they can. Hayes is asking, where could a ninja send music for you to check out? I bet you get that quite a bit.
Instagram, you know, I'm all over my Instagram. You know what I mean? I love Instagram. I think Instagram is really cool. It's the only social media I do. You know what I mean? So shoot it to me on Instagram and I'll check it out. You know, and if I don't, just keep shooting it to me. You know, I eventually get to it. I get to all my mail eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Heck yeah, you got the passion for it, my brother. Straight Edge, thanks for $2. Shout out to Vincent Violent J. JCW Lunacy is cool. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Well, almost finished here. We got Maddie. He says huge noise on Saturday night's main event for RVD. Who's next? So thanks, Maddie. Somebody thanks you, Jay, for Detroit. Thank you, Jay, for keeping it Detroit all these years.
By the way, let me interrupt you. I saw Maddie when I looked at the chat room before I put it on dim so my battery won't die. but I was looking at it and he said, never mind. I'm gonna fuck his joke up now.
Oh, I saw the joke. It was early on. It was really early on.
Why don't somebody, I can't remember, why doesn't Earth or somebody like atoms? Because they make up everything. But I don't know I forgot who the subject was.
Dang it.
Who's the subject? I can't remember.
It was way at the beginning. Maddie posted that. Maddie always posts like.
Sorry, Maddie. And now I got it on dark, and I'm at like.
Now we got it on dark and can't see it.
I'm at 2%. This motherfucker.
You're gonna go
down to the wire.
Yeah, it's gonna be right to the edge here.
I don't even know what's going on.
I'm trying to hammer out the super chats real quick. Seth says, RVD, since it's Christmas party, can we get a little Christmas anecdote or RVDology?
We're gonna do another one.
We'll do another one. We'll get it to the
next week. This is
this week's show.
Right. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll get it, Seth.
We still need a show birthday week, and then
we'll get that one then. Bankroll tees, $5. Whoop whoop. Let's get RVD and JCW must see TV. Vince with RVD can make a great story. We're going to be at the show in Detroit. Yeah, Vince, it's
going to happen one day. I guarantee you, one day it's going to happen.
We've been talking.
Yeah, hell yeah, making it happen. All right, only a few more here. Julian's Funhouse. Thanks again, Violent J. Check out Cartoon Boderon. He's a dope rapper in the Juggalo community.
Okay, what's his name?
Cartoon Bondurant. Cartoon Bondurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
So there we go. Getting the shout outs there. Sam Murray, 1 BLIM. $4.99. Rob, after your matches on Raw, did you dread walking through the curtain to see Vince, Bruce Pritchard, or Michael Hayes, etc.? Did you ever get that? Yeah. Oh God. What's gonna happen?
I was gonna say like almost never. I don't know if that ever did happen or not, because I usually didn't have bad matches, you know what I mean? So usually it's a good thing. Usually I come through and I look for their approval and their applause, them say, hey, good job, good match. And that's normally what I would hear. I do remember kind of dreading it one time when first year when I'm there, so like 2001, when I was stiffing everybody's getting injured, getting the Van Daminators getting busted open, and the internet wrestling community was on fire. I had a match with Kurt Angle, and I gave him a leg drop when his head was hanging over the announcer's table, face down, and it busted his chin open, and he was bleeding. And I was thinking, because I had been hearing or reading about all this bullshit about getting heat, although no one said anything to me, but I was reading about it and shit. So I figured, well, I did hurt, Booker T and Raven and Test and Austin. And I was like, they might, I don't know, maybe they might not be happy with me. I don't know. And I went up the ramp, and when I saw Vince, I remember saying, and I have no idea why I called Kurt his boy. I have no idea. But I said, hey, man, sorry I hurt your boy. And he said, well, he'll learn to turn his chin next time, won't he? Yeah, that's a lot. No heat.
No heat on that one.
No.
Vince, how much did you get like that? Oh, God, I'm going to get it from Vince on this one, or somebody else that maybe you're working with in the writing room.
I remember the one thing that stands out in my mind, and I'll never forget this. Do you remember the segment with Mick and Rock? This Is Your Life.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Bro, that was the highest rated segment in the history of Raw. It did like an 8.4.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember this is such a great story, man. I remember Vince, while this was going on, I was at Gorilla with him, and he was cutting a hellacious promo on me because it was going on so long, right? Mm-hmm. So Mick comes in the back, and, Mick was lit up like a Christmas tree. He thought it was great, right?
Yeah.
So he said, well, what did Vince say? And I said, Mick, he's pissed, man. He thought you guys went too long, right? So, bro, the funny story is the next day we are in a we're in a production meeting, and I'm looking out the door, and bro, Mick is pacing back. I see Mick pacing back and forth, right? So the meeting breaks up, and I go to Mick, and I said, Mick, what are you doing? Bro, Mick got the numbers. And he could not wait to go to Vince, right? And so he goes to Vince with the numbers. Vince, we 8.4. And because Vince cut a promo and was so mad it went long, bro, he no-sold it.
Oh.
He did not. And Mick was so disappointed. He looked like a little kid that hung his head. But he was so, but yeah, Vince, I think that was the time when Vince was pissed at me the most. But man, I knew it was good. You know, I mean, I know it was going long, but those guys, it was great, you know. And
oh man, yeah, you had the teacher, Yerpel the clown. He had so much shit going on. Yeah. Oh, it was good shit back then. All right, only a couple more super chats, and then we'll close this out. Thank you guys for taking the time.
1%, by the way.
Oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. If we lose Rob, we'll just close out the show with that. R. Willis, thank you for the $5. JCW and GCW was the best War Games match this year. I was there in Atlantic City, Juggalo since 1996. Wow. Philly needs some JCW. Happy holidays, Rob, Nick, that's me, Vince, and Rob.
Holidays.
You know, they were actually worried about that match. Fans were upset that GCW was taking on JCW because they thought that match was going to be pussy. They thought that match wasn't going to be very good, you know? So they added all this crazy shit to the match. Those what do you call them? Like they added this giant scaffold and shit going across the top of the cage and all this stuff for guys to fall off of and break their neck and everything. And JCW showed improved on that show against the GCW guys, and all the guys killed it that night. And we couldn't have been prouder. We don't normally do that kind of deathmatch stuff, you know, but we stepped up. That's what they wanted. We stepped up, and guys like Cocaine and Willie Mack and Tony, they don't normally do deathmatch stuff. Pondo does, but they showed improved that night. It was unreal, man.
What a neat experience and visual I'm sure that was, too. It's like, it's always
it was unreal, man. Alive. It was so and my head caught on fire.
Good
Tony
Lord.
threw one of his flaming fists, his meteorites, and the guy ducked and he hit me, and I took a bump, and I could feel my head heating up, and suddenly somebody threw a wet towel over my head, and I guess the gum in my hair caught on fire.
Oh my god! Craziness. Man. Here we go. Midnight Mike Show. Jay, rank your favorite from the original Joker's card deck. Huge Russo fan, RVD and ICP fan. JCW just got me watching wrestling again after almost 10 years. Wow, look at that. That's original nice. Joker's card deck. Explain that, Jay, if you know.
Joker. Our albums are called Joker cards.
Oh,
you know,
okay, cool.
And they're usually a black cover with a clown face on it. You know, and we always said there's going to be 6 Joker cards in the first deck, 6 in the second deck, and 5 in the last deck. You know, and so right now we've just finished up the second deck, and we're going into the third and final deck. You know, there'll be 5 more albums before we're done. You know, but my favorite Joker's card thus far is the Shangri-La album. The end of this first deck of 6, just making a record about heaven was so tranquil and wonderful to be in that mind state every day, writing all that music and making all those songs about heaven. It just, our whole lives, I lost all kind of weight. Like I've never been happier being in that mind frame. Instead of being in like the mind of a serial killer to write the music, to make it, have the freedom to make an album about heaven was just the best time in both Shaggy and my life. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Hands
That's
down.
Awesome, dude. That's super awesome. Well, I got to check that one out. I like that.
Yes, the Shangri-La album.
Shangri-La. All right. Somebody says bring JCW to New Orleans. They want it to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Big Horse Legs does want that. That'd be sweet. And then thank you for the $2, Dan. And then we'll close it out with this one. Any personal stories about George Animal Steel? Anybody have any personal stories?
I have 0, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tap out on this one. I don't know if you.
I got a quick one, man, that I couldn't believe because I grew up on George the Animal Steel, bro, and I remember going to a convention like maybe 10 years ago, and everybody was eating. Bro, he was sitting there eating by himself. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I went there and I sat next to him, and he was telling me, stories about the Shea Stadium shows where, he said, bro, there was so much heat on him as a heel. The cops thought it was real. I mean, New York City Finest had to take him to the ring and back because people literally wanted to kill him. And Rob's
we lost Rob.
But bro, that just goes to show you the cops believed it was real back then. But he told me stories that night that blew my mind that I'll never, ever forget, man.
Wow, that's a great man. I think in a full circle moment, like John Cena's last match, I think he was Bruno's last match in 1981 before Bruno returned later.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, cool. Guys, geez, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and be a part of this all. Me and Rob are super excited to have you guys on here, and you guys are kicking some ass with JCW, no doubt about it. So
I want to let everybody know, if you're living in Florida, if you're living in the Miami area, we've got 2 JCW shows coming to Miami in February for Juggalo Weekend is taking place, which is the weekend closest to February 17th, because that's officially Juggalo Day, So whatever weekend is nearest to that, we're going to be in Miami for 2 shows, 2 days in a row.
We'll keep your tabs on that. Yeah. Any info too, I'll be happy to share and let out on our social accounts and everything like that. And Vince, is there anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, just a real quick tease, guys. Thursday night, 7:00, JCW, YouTube Eastern. I'm always in the chat room for the first showing on the of the show, and I'm going to give them a little teaser of this week's show. And your boy over there, Violent J, put something on the line that he probably should not put on the line. That's all I'm going to say. I warned him. I warned him, bro. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Check it out. It's this Thursday coming on up. And be sure to check out JCW Lunacy. That's on the Psychopathic Records YouTube channel. We'll be sure to have the links for that. If you're new to this channel, go to rvdtv.com. Like, share, subscribe, get the word out about the channel. Help us out here. And always thank you to Rob. And thank you to you guys for joining me today, too. This
thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
One of my favorite episodes we've gotten to do. So thank you guys so much. And hey, we'll see you all next time here on One of a Kind. Well, when he comes back with RVD.